So if there's one area of the golf swing that is massively underrated, it is this left heel move in the backswing, because one, it will help you hit the golf ball a lot further. Two, it's easier for the body to do. And three, you could hit the ball a hell of a lot straighter because of it. So I'm Jonathan Chown with JChownGolf. Let's look right into it. Now, lifting up the left heel to complete your backswing. That's an area a lot of you out there will be thinking that's completely wrong. My instructor again has told me not to do this. I must keep that left heel down on the ground at all times for stability of my lower body. But unfortunately, this is another area, another part of technique in the golf swing that has been hit hard by 90s and early 2000s golf instruction because it just simply didn't look good. There is no reason why this was dropped quite hard by golf instruction other than just the pure aesthetic of it wasn't very pleasing. But in reality this movement of lifting up that left heel to complete your backswing has so many good benefits to it. Of course, if you overdo it, you could spin out in your backswing. That's why you control the movement, have a little bit of that left heel lift. So the benefits it's going to have is one, you're going to get a bigger, fuller turn in your backswing. If a lot of golfers out there, if you try to keep that left foot down on the ground, your hips will only turn so much, and that means your backswing can only turn so much. So many of us, including myself, do not have good mobility. So why do something that is purposely there to almost stunt your mobility a little bit? Lift up that left heel a little bit, and boom, you've got a little bit more turn there. So if we're getting a bigger turn, which just generally means more power, it can actually help us hit the ball a little bit straighter too, especially for you guys who slice the golf ball. Because if I'm getting up to the top of my swing with more turn because I'm lifting up this left heel, I'm really freeing up the motion my body can do. Now I've got what's called a deeper hand path at the top of the backswing, more hand depth. So when I get more hand depth, that just generally means my hands are a little bit more behind my body, not necessarily flat, but my hands are just a little bit more deeper behind me. Because when a lot of golfers, when they struggle to get turn, someone who maybe not have that much mobility or just aren't trying to turn their body too much, the hands will naturally go straight upwards. Now, when the hands go straight upwards, it's always going to result in a movement. In the first movement of the downswing, those hands are going to go quite out in front of you. Because whenever we rotate, the hands will follow. So if we rotate more in the backswing, the hands will follow the rotation, get more back here. And then as we rotate in the downswing, the club is now going to fall on path, not fall over the top from a more upright backswing position. So huge for hitting the ball straighter for slice guys out there as well. So the next benefit is by far my favorite benefit from this because it really creates so much power. And it's what happens in transition. So when I've got that left heel raised up off the ground, my body will naturally slam it back down onto the ground. So an old Lee Trevino saying of crushing a bug underneath your left heel. This is what will happen naturally because of that. And that will put force down into the ground. And then as we know, what goes into the ground is going to come back out again. That's going to be extra force coming through the golf ball. It's just easy, effortless power in there. So we can see, we can get more turn, we can get more hand depth, and then we can get more force into the ground by just doing one little move there. So enough talking about the move and how good it is. Let me show you here. So I'm going to hit two balls here. One's going to be we're keeping the left heel on the ground. One's going to be raising up, and we're going to slow them down and talk about it. So let me hit the one with keeping my left heel down on the ground, feeling quite stable, I guess. Let's see how it goes. Now let me do one here where I'm lifting up that left heel just a little bit as I'm coming up to the top of my swing, and we'll talk about it. So let's have a little look at those swings there, slowed down. So we're going to see with the first one, we have it with that left heel down. We can see from both angles here how with that left heel staying down, you can see my swing, it didn't really have too much turn to it, which means I wouldn't be having that much depth to the top of the backswing. And you can see really downswing wise, kind of lacked a bit of pop, didn't it? Really, that lower body wasn't really moving that dynamically. That means there isn't really going to be that much speed putting into that golf ball. So for you golfers out there who struggle with athleticism or mobility, not the way to swing a golf club if you want to play your best golf. Now, looking at the next one, where I was lifting up that hill gradually from both angles there, we can see much bigger, freer turn there, which that bigger turn would mean you'll get more depth to the top of the backswing. And then from there, you can see that lower body is working a hell of a lot better in a downswing, which means more power, more dynamic movement, just getting more bang for our buck with what we're doing with our body. So we've talked about why it helps. We've compared the two ways of using your left foot in your golf swing. Now let's get into a little drill that we can do, a little feeling to make sure you're getting this in the golf swing. So when we're doing this move, as you can see from some of the slowed down ones, I wasn't necessarily lifting up my left heel as soon as I was starting off my golf swing. I was doing it just as I was getting around to about left arm parallel to the ground was when that heel was starting to lift up, because that's going to continue my rotation of my body there. If I do it too early, I could run the risk of rotating my body far too early, where I'll be running out the range of movement that my hips can do early, which will then throw out a sequence my arm swing, so my arms will start moving independently of my body. I don't want that to happen. I want my backswing to be completed when my turn stops. So how we do that, lift up that left heel as we start getting to lead arm parallel to the ground and then turn up from there. That will control your sequencing nicely, and that's how we do it. So how you can do it here, you could have a little swing here. We get to left arm parallel, stop, left foot or left heel is still on the ground. Now lift that left foot up, turn your body and hit. So you can see there, I only did it a little bit, only a little bit, but we only need to do a little bit to start off with, and then you can increase it a little bit more over time. Obviously, like I said at the beginning, we don't want it to be like this, you know, turning off the golf ball. We just need it lifting up a little bit. It really helps. A little bit helps a lot. So again, left arm parallel to the ground, stop. Now lift up that left heel, turn the body and hit the ball. See, once you get enough reps of that, that teaches you the proper sequencing of when to do that move and then just implement into your swing. I just feel like it really frees up my whole golf swing in general. Makes everything feel more fluid and more like a golf swing, less than a golf hit, for example. So I'll just then hit some balls, just feeling like that left foot is just that left heel is lifting up just to complete my swing. And I just love the feeling of that. It makes me feel powerful. I can immediately get a little bit more distance out of the golf ball, and a lot of you will benefit massively, like we said, in all those areas there. So if you enjoyed this video, guys, make sure you hit that like button. If you want more golf instruction just like this, hit the subscribe button and hit the bell button too to be notified every time I put out a video. So lift up that left heel a little bit, most underrated part of the golf swing by far, and you'll be hitting the ball far better for it.